In today's episode of Austin's Hot Takes, we're talking to Jesse Semchuck, a digital marketing expert with nearly 20 years of experience, currently driving growth at Pestie and previously at Purple Mattress.
I think everyone needs to take a step back, think about the business, where are you positioned versus your competitors, and say, can we push on awareness? Can we build a brand that actually will last? Where should we be placing our dollars, right? Because I think you really end up shooting yourself in the foot when you're just thinking about short-term revenue.
Join us for game-changing insights on building lasting brands and navigating economic downturns that you can absorb in a quick sit-down with Austin's Hot Takes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Austin Hot Takes. Really excited today to see Jesse on camera. I just saw him in Utah a couple of weeks ago. Jesse has a lot of experience across growth from TV to paid social, really every aspect. Jesse, maybe you could tell everyone about your background.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you again. Always good to share a meal with you too. My background is I've been working in digital for nearly 20 years. More recently, I've been at places like Traeger, Purple Mattress, Kizik. Now I'm at Pestie. And at Pestie, we make customized pest control plans for people to DIY their own pest control. Send them pro-grade stuff. It saves them money versus the traditional pest control door knockers.
Makes sense. And I know the business is doing really well, and it's been an exciting ride for you. I know you know the team from before, right?
Yeah, definitely. Two of the founders I work with at Purple. So it's been a lot of fun to just work with two of my friends.
Yeah.
Really have an impact and build the business. They're exceptionally smart. And so I'm lucky to get to work with them.
That's awesome. That's kind of a neat thing. That's not the hot take you're going to give us today, I think, but the idea of working with your friends like that, that's neat.
Yeah.
Right? Like I see that across a lot of successful brands. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's also a Utah thing. I feel like Utah is uniquely positioned in the digital space and everyone kind of knows everyone and you know what they're good at and bad at. And like, it's a great place.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, cool. What's your hot take, Jesse?
Hot take is that I believe most marketers, when the economy is looking like it's going to downturn, head into a recession, most marketers are looking to really keep their bosses happy and make a ton of changes in their accounts. And they're just prepping for that meeting next week. I think everyone needs to take a step back, think about the business, where are you positioned versus your competitors, and say, can we push on awareness? Can we build a brand that actually will last, right? I think on the retention side, I mean, that's where the real war is going to be fought. For businesses like us that are subscription or even not, right? There's less brand loyalty when the economy is not doing great. And so how are you engaging with customers after that purchase? Not just to sell them something else, but like really create a relationship if you can.
That's a great hot take because I think everyone gets scared, rightfully so, obviously, with like tariffs and uncertainty. Obviously, it looks like things are getting better. Well, not obviously, it seems like things are getting better. So everyone's seemingly cautiously optimistic for the rest of the year. But your point's well taken, which is look at your numbers, know your business, know where you stack up in the marketplace, but don't pull back in a way that hurts the business just because the macro, obviously you got to survive, right? So someone's really low in cash or they can't manage their inventory, it's all dependent, right? You're doing really well. Easy for you to say, lean in, right? But maybe some folks can't, right? So that's a little bit of the caveat on your hot take, right? It's all business cash dependent, I would say.
Totally agree. And you're right. You got to keep the lights on sometimes. And sometimes it is the right move to pull back on spend, to just level set and say, okay, what are our COGS? What is our contribution margin?
Right.
Can we change any of these factors, right? Look at the broad scope of it and say, okay, well, if we've done everything we can to optimize, well, now where should we be placing our dollars, right? Because I think you really end up shooting yourself in the foot when you're just thinking about short-term revenue. Brands have to prep for big peak seasons during the year, and they have to prospect into those.
I agree with that. And I think that's when I look across all Northbeam customers, the folks that understand that balance between demand generation and demand capture and the necessary steps to do those when, like what periods of the year and like how to flow and expect weaker performance during some periods, but you know that you're building towards the long term. That's really what separates your point around brand, like people building a business for the long term versus just trying to like scoop up demand when it exists. Right?
What are you trying to do as a marketer? Are you trying to just that ROAS target, or are you trying to build a business that can continue to grow? You're going to be happy at, you're going to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
I think it just means that sometimes there are sacrifices that are made on the ROAS side to get there. Not always, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Awareness always easily tracked, as you know, right?
Yeah. That's why you have things like media mix modeling, because you have long-term time horizons. We just did some statistical analysis right before this call where, sometimes you got to look at a really long horizon, right? To understand. And again, cash dependent, experience dependent, video quality dependent, i.e. can you actually create good video content, right? Like there's a lot of things you need in place to do what your hot take, what you suggested. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not something like everyone could just go do easily. And you know this, right? It's like, but if you do have the team and you do have the ability to execute on video creative and you do have a good business and you do have these things that line up, you can lean in when other people are being scared and you can build your audience, build your demand funnel, right? You could increase the demand for your brand.
And I think for a lot of smaller D2C businesses, they should be thinking about their creative budgets and their marketing budgets as sort of the same. There is a point where you split it out and say, this is brand spend, it's performance spend. But I do think that, right, if I'm going to spend money, I need assets and I need video. And sometimes I can't do it internally. We have to hire.
That's right. The one other idea, the one way folks are not doing this, and I want to see what you think. This is my hot take on this.
Yeah.
I want your opinion, Jesse. When I hear folks say, oh, we always maintain the same CAC or the same return on ad spend, ROAS, right? Like we always it's like you're smiling because you know what that means. That means you're not ebbing and flowing in demand generation and capture. You're just this nervous person who's just like trying to maintain this one thing all the time, which you and I both know, that means you're not investing, right? If you're not, here's the hot take. If you're not fluctuating, you're not investing in the long term.
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
I think that's definitely fair. And so many businesses are focused on that ROAS number. And I've always thought if our ROAS is above target, well, I'm failing somewhere because that money could be invested, right? To get
exactly
what is where we actually need to be. If you're killing it all the time,
that's right.
Not growing the business.
That's right. No, it's so funny. This is, I think, maybe the best part of the hot take, which is I've met with people and they're like bragging to me about this like steady low CAC or number, right? And you and I both know it's a tip off to me. Like you're not thinking about growth the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
and there is a flip side to it, the internal side where, a lot of what people in my position do is internal selling to say, this is why we want to spend more. This is what the result could be. Really tying yourself as a marketer to numbers and not just saying, I'm happy with that outcome, but pushing yourself. I mean, there is no learning in digital marketing without failing sometimes.
Yeah. And obviously you're going to watch I'm not saying,
of course,
you blow it out and go crazy, but you and I both know there are moments throughout the year or throughout the week, or there are periods of time where the numbers will intentionally be worse, right? Because you're building demand. And that's something a lot of people don't really understand that don't live in the weeds. But to me, like I said, it's a tip off for people they're not doing things the right way.
And at Pestie, I mean, we sell pest control. It's DIY. And right now during peak season, when bugs are starting to hatch and come out, I mean, we're getting more people signing up for subscriptions and annuals versus later in the fall or winter, people are buying more one-time purchases. So like know when those ebbs and flows are for your business and lean in when you can.
That's awesome. That's really a great end to it, I think, is lean in when you can, but you got to know your numbers, obviously, right? Yeah. And your business. That's great. Thanks, Jesse. Thanks for joining.
No problem.
See ya.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want more marketing hot takes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to avoid missing any future videos.